All right, welcome to our latest. What do we want to call this? Dozo Dooley cast.
Dooley and Dozo.
Dooley and
you gotta
Dozo.
be first.
Okay. We're going to talk about Florida's regional tomorrow. We are out here at Ironwood Golf Course, where Jeff, of course, is the head man, and getting ready for the Bob Dooley Invitational tomorrow. Excited about that. Excited about a lot of things. It's kind of the timing wasn't great, but we knew it was a possibility. Florida playing a noon game. You won't be here for the tournament, but you will be out there for what should be an unbelievable first game between Casey Mize and Brady Singer.
Mize Singer 3. I think we get spoiled to be able to watch stuff like that. I mean, you're sitting literally talking about two guys that are going to be in the big league someday, and to see them at this level, I think it's pretty phenomenal. And it was really cool to see what happened earlier this year. As Jonathan India, another top pick, first round pick, 5th overall, hits a homer off of Mize in the first inning, and then there was like a calm in the ballpark that day, and it's like, all right, we got this. And then when you have Brady Singer on the mound, I don't care who you're facing. You're facing Sandy Koufax, or our favorite player, Greg Maddux, is on the other side. Like, you feel like Brady Singer's going to win. That's how dominant he has been, and I think Brady has that type of mentality, and I'm really looking forward to these two getting after it.
Yeah, I think especially at home, you made a good point after that series. You would have taken Brady ahead of Casey Mize. Mize might have a little better stuff, but you liked the way Brady competes better than Mize.
There's just something to that, and I think even if you look at the big league level, like Max Scherzer, a fiery guy. I mean, you have to have that type of mentality. Something I learned a long time ago, and Brady pitches that way. Now, it's a little different than what we saw in the Super Regional last year of him throwing F-bombs out there and cursing everybody.
What are you talking about?
Wake Forest, but now he's that same intense person, but he doesn't show it as much. But he pitches that way, and I think for Casey Mize, it was always one of those years where, hey, I know I'm going to be a really good pick, and
he struggled there for a little bit.
He did. He had that point. So I just think he sort of goes through the motions, and I hope that that's the same mentality. Now he's got $8 million in his pocket, or he's about to, and maybe you say, okay, I'm gonna shut it down.
I don't want to hurt my arm.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it should be interesting, and I'm a big believer that the winner of this game on Saturday is going to win the series, because I think mentally it's going to affect him. And I'm not as confident in what Florida has. Not that I'm that confident what Auburn has, but Florida, Coars was so good for a while and then has not been very good lately. I think one thing that is a huge factor is Florida's got to start playing defense again, which I never thought I'd ever have to say about a Florida team.
It's always been the staple. I think in the 11 years Kevin O'Sullivan's been here, you look at the history of the best fielding teams ever in Florida history, and Sully's got like the top 8. And it's just tremendous. And to see this team not be able to just catch and throw, it's just so uncharacteristic of these guys. And even running the bases. And I think at this point of the year, you have to be fundamentally sound. You have to be able to do these little things, because it's the difference of, hey, if I lose this game, well, or if I mess up here, I'm going to lose this game. And now if I lose this game, I'm going to lose my season. So you have to be really good. And I think that's the one concern. So it's a little bit different than last year, even though Florida couldn't hit it all last year and they couldn't do all these things. They could always field, and they could always do the little things, and I just don't see that this year.
And they could pitch.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that this year you're not, like Leftwich, Mace, they might be good, but you really don't know, and that's a big concern going into it as well. But, India, I think, got a little junioritis. I don't think there's any question about that, to make the number of errors he made down the stretch. Blake Reese got a little Steve Sachsitis, which is never good. So, it's going to be really interesting. It's going to be a great series, and I'm looking forward to it after we get done with this, to be able to watch it. But it'll be. I mean, it's a shame that all the SEC matchups are SEC versus SEC, but this wasn't a 1-1. This is a 1-2.
Sure. Yeah, and I think a lot of people have come up to me over the last couple of days, oh, they did this on purpose, there's not a lot of SEC teams. No, there was a ton of SEC teams in it, and that's why they're actually just all playing each other and the way it's worked out. So I think it just shows you how tough this conference was, and I think when we get to the College World Series, if Florida's in that, I think you'll see how good this conference was compared to the rest of it too. And obviously, I would like Florida to be there, but they're going to have to play well. Listen, Auburn, when Florida played them earlier in the year, they hadn't figured themselves out yet. But they've got a couple of freshmen on this team that you can't say they're freshmen anymore. That's all that old line, because they've played an entire season now, and they're studs. They're really good. I'm scared of them to be in the league for the next couple of years. That's how good they are. And Florida's going to have to be on its best to be able to contend with Auburn, because they swung it really well. And NC State was a really good team, and they made them look like they were horrible. So it's certainly not going to be easy this weekend.
You know who's not in the tournament anymore? LSU. They're not there.
That's right.
Is Florida State still in it?
I don't think so.
Kudos to the softball team. But, you know, I think, like somebody said, what's wrong with the Gators the other day to me? And I went, you mean like they're in the Super Regionals?
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. It is hard to do what they've done on a consistent basis, and it's tremendous. But we appreciate you guys for clicking on and watching this. This is very rarely do I have to actually look up at my co-host. Usually it's Robbie, and I'm looking down. You know, he's got the stoop going. Oh, it's great. But appreciate it. Appreciate Kyle for doing this video. Again, if you're watching this and you want to come out and bid on the silent auction items of the Bob Dooley, it's all going to stop children's cancer. And we appreciate everything Jeff does out here as well. Thanks to Kyle again. We will be back, who knows when, with another one of these. I'm going to take a few days off after this, I can promise you.
Deservedly.
Yes, and we'll be back. But thanks so much for watching. Pat Dooley, Jeff Cardozo. I used to say of the games with some, but you're not in the games with some. We used to be on the same radio.
We did?
Yeah.
And I miss them. I miss them
a long time ago. We will see you next time. So long from the Sunshine State.